What's up, everybody? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to this edition of the Sharpe Reality. Follow me on Twitter at Donovan_Sharpe. Go to the contact tab on the sharpereality.com anytime if you have questions, comments, show ideas, or if you have a personal story you'd like to share. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just do a quick search for Donovan Sharpe. That's DONOVANSHARPE. If you'd like to contribute to the show and keep us on air, just bookmark the Amazon link in the sidebar of our homepage and do your Amazon shopping through that link. And of course, you can always check out my content on returnofkings.com as well as the Red Pill subreddit. Today I'm going to give you guys 13 reasons your girl will cheat on you. Now, obviously, there are many more than just 13 reasons women cheat. We all know this. And a lot of times, they cheat for no reason at all. Your game could be airtight, but because girls these days aren't really used to being sexually loyal to just one man for an extended period of time, they end up fucking around as a matter of habit. Yeah, that sucks, but that's just the way it is sometimes. Most of what I'm going to go over with you guys today are some of the very basic principles of game. There's nothing psychological or complicated about most of the reasons your girl's going to cheat on you. Girls are simple, guys. They're not mysterious, they're not complex, and they're not hard to figure out. And because of this, 9 times out of 10, when they do cheat on you, it's for something very basic or something intrinsic to their psyche as females. So a while back, I was fucking this girl I met at Planet Hollywood in Vegas. She was a waitress there at the time, and I think eventually she became a hostess. But anyway, she was this hot Mexican chick. I mean, long black hair, huge tits, and she kept herself in great shape. She wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, but she really knew her shit as far as her diet and fitness was concerned. Truth be told, she could probably make a pretty good living as a dietitian and a personal trainer. I mean, she was that on the ball with that stuff. So anyway, after a few months, she drops this little nugget on me, and I'm sure that those in the know, those in the manosphere, or those who are used to having friends with benefits, we're all familiar with this phrase. She said, "I feel like we need to make this little thing of ours official, or we're going to have to stop seeing each other." We've all heard that at some point. Now, up until that point, I was just fucking her. I had another girl I was seeing, once or twice a week, but the Mexican girl, that was my main fuck buddy at that point. So most of the pussy I got was from her. And I made it clear through my actions and, my words as well that I wasn't looking for anything serious. But every girl will eventually push for some sort of exclusivity at some point. It's just how they're wired. And because of that, this stuff doesn't really catch me off guard too often. I know it's going to come up at some point. But up until she dropped that shit test on me, because that's what it was, that was a shit test, I hadn't really seen or heard any signs, from her. I hadn't really seen or heard any signs of her wanting to get serious. Usually I pick up on stuff like that. So she was either very good at hiding it, or I just wasn't paying attention. Either way, she put me on the spot, and I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a little unexpected. Now, having been in the game for quite a while, my red pill programming just kind of kicked into autopilot. I just kind of carelessly shrugged my shoulders. I stood up and I said, "Cool." And I left her apartment, didn't say another word to her. During the drive back to my place, I sort of replayed, the last few weeks of my interactions with her. And I realized that she would have been well within her, I guess we'll call it her hypergamous Bill of Rights, to drop me or to move on to another guy. And I wouldn't have had anybody to blame but myself. Now, listen, I hit the dread game button, and that straightened her ass out. I mean, she was blowing up my phone probably not even 5 minutes after I left, and she hadn't broached the subject since. But the fact remains, guys, is that my game had fallen off, and I didn't even realize it until she had deployed the shit test. That's when you know your game has fallen off. Is when your girl starts to shit test you, because she wants to know, she needs that confirmation that you are still as attractive as you used to be, that you still have the same the same value to her as you used to, that you still could do without her, that you still have backbone. And truthfully, I mean, I'd be willing to bet that plenty of you guys are probably on the verge of, losing that frame with your girls. And you're probably as ignorant of it right now as I was back then. If I didn't handle that situation accordingly, just given the rules of modern dating and, in the feminist dating market, guys, I would have deserved to have been nexted. All right. And same goes for you. If you guys don't deal with things like this accordingly, your girl can, and dare I say, should cheat on you or next you, whatever the case may be. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my top 13 basic reasons why your girl will eventually cheat on you. So let's get to it. Number one, you've stopped lifting weights. Now, before you met your girl, when you were sort of playing the field, you were always in the gym, squatting, deadlifting, benching, keeping yourself in good shape. But when you get regular sex from any particular girl, especially when you spend more and more time with her, like I did, with the Mexican chick, your drive to keep your physical edge sort of dwindles. And, sometimes, and at that point, your diet's not as tight. And you just kind of fall off. Just listen, this is human nature. When you take something for granted, you relax. If you keep that up, your girl is going to be, eventually she's going to be sucking somebody else's dick, who looks like you used to. She is going to find someone who is as attractive as you were. That's eventually going to happen. So if you let your fitness go, listen, that's one of the very basic needs of a woman. If a woman is going to be attracted to you in that way, if you are in good physical shape, if that goes by the wayside, then she will start looking around for other guys. Trust and believe that. Number two, your personal hygiene has slipped. Now, back when you approached your woman, or when you were playing in the field, you made sure that your breath was minty fresh. You made sure your facial hair was neat. Everything was trimmed. You always made sure you smelled good. Well, again, when you get comfortable with a woman, you get lazy and you slack off on your daily regimen. Understand, guys, that girls are flaky by nature. And like I said before, they are always looking for a reason to upgrade. Chronic bad breath and body odor are these days both very good reasons for her to jump ship. I really can't say that I blame any woman who starts dating a guy who used to have great breath, clean facial hair, and took care of himself as far as personal hygiene goes, but all of a sudden he has bad breath and he's got body odor. I cannot say that I blame a girl for jumping ship. Hey, listen, if I dated a girl who had high personal hygiene and all of a sudden she let that slip, I would absolutely jump ship as well. And I certainly can't blame a girl for doing that. Number three, you pay less attention to your clothes. Now, this was one that I was guilty of in the aforementioned situation that I told you guys about. The more comfortable I got with her, the less care I took in my appearance when I went to see her. And that reflected my attitude. If you dress like a rock star, guys, you're going to act like one. This isn't to say that you should dress to the nines all the time. But if you stop trying altogether, your girl's going to pick up on this. Okay, girls notice this kind of stuff. And if you're not dressing as well as you used to her, maybe lower self-esteem, which maybe means lower value. She is going to notice these things, and she will start to explore greener pastures. In other words, she's going to start looking for another guy. Number four, you watch too much porn. Now, listen, I know a lot of guys out there probably, listen, man, everybody watches porn. It's a $9 billion industry. Nobody says they watch porn, but everybody watches porn. Otherwise, it wouldn't be $1 billion industry. Now, to be fair, porn does have its place in terms of edging, penis health. I actually mentioned it in my penis health episode. But if you jerk off too much, that depletes your testosterone. Your testosterone, eventually, that's going to reduce your sex drive. And if you're not fucking your chick because you can't keep the because you can't keep your masturbation at least to a minimum or under control, she's going to find a guy who's willing to fuck her more than you are. Girls want sex, and if you're whacking off too much, you're not going to be fucking her as much. Number 6, you've stopped approaching. You've stopped adding girls to your roster. Once again, this was something that I was guilty of slipping up in, all right? Now, now here again, she had been providing me with great sex, and we were fucking all the time. So I didn't really feel the need to go out and add any more chicks to my roster. I had her, and then I had another chick that I was fucking, and that was all the sex I needed. But having a backup chick or 2 or 3, gentlemen, that creates the all-important abundance mentality, which is paramount to your overall game. Don't let one good pussy keep you from the acquisition of others, because the moment you do, your leverage is out the door. And when your leverage is out the door, again, girls have a supernatural sense in terms of your swings in that nature. If you don't have the abundance mentality, your girl is going to pick up on that. If she thinks for 1 second that you are catching one-itis or that she is the reason for your overall happiness, she's going to start to shit test you. And the more she shit tests you and the more you fail them, the less attracted she becomes to you. And I'll even say this, when a girl knows that she is on her way out the door, the shit tests that she will deploy, they're going to be unpassable. I mean, they're going to be like labyrinths. They're going to become more and more complex, and it's going to leave you looking stupid because you're not going to have the answers. You're not really going to know what to do. So keep approaching girls, keep adding chicks to your roster, keep talking to girls, keep striking up conversation for no other reason but to keep your abundance mentality intact. Number 7, you do not dominate her in bed. Guys, this is basic. Now, as far as sex is concerned, different girls have different preferences at different times. But the one thing they all have in common is that they want to be physically dominated sexually, all right? The need to be taken by a man in this way, it's who they are. It's firmly encoded in their DNA. Now, listen, there is a time and a place to make sweet love to her, okay? I mean, there are really no two ways about it, but at her very core, a woman doesn't really feel like a woman if she's not being ravaged by a dominant man. This is what she wants, and it's what she needs. So if you're not giving it to her like that, don't be surprised if she finds someone else who will dominate her in bed. If you're not pulling her hair and smacking her ass or not really choking her, but if you're not physically dominating your woman in bed, trust and believe she will keep fucking around until she finds someone who will. And eventually she will end up with that guy. Number 8. Too much money on her. Now, anyone who has listened to my podcast since the beginning, you guys all know that this was a big one for me back in the day, especially when I told you the story of Carla. I want to say that was back in episode 20 or 22. I can't remember exactly. So the cycle would go like this. And Carla's not the first chick that I had spent money on, but that was the first time I had ever spent money on a woman to that extent. But it would normally go like this. I'd meet a girl, we'd start fucking, and I'd start buying her shit. That's a big fucking mistake, guys. Rewarding women with money or extravagant gifts or too much of your time, that will automatically place her value above hers. And when that happens, it's all downhill, because if she thinks that she's more valuable than you are, and I'll get to that a little bit later on, she is going to lose attraction for you. Now, keep in mind, guys, I'm not suggesting you shouldn't buy anything for her if she's a good woman, all right? But by the same token, the best reward you can give a woman is your time, your attention, your presence. Don't spend money on her to reward her for being a good woman. Give her your time and attention, and if she is a good woman, if you have groomed her properly, that should be more than enough to keep her interested. Number 9, you talk shit about other men. Nothing screams out, I'm a beta male, like saying something to the effect of, that guy's an idiot for spending that much on a car, or all those tattoos make him look stupid or make him look like a criminal, or he's such a douchebag. I mean, we've heard these beta males talking all this shit about these guys. Look, hating on other guys, especially in the presence of your woman, that is a feminine trait. And it screams lack of confidence, which we all know is unattractive to women. You can keep trashing dudes if you want to, but I can guarantee your girl is probably fantasizing about sucking that guy's dick in that fancy car of his, which she should be doing if you're the one acting like a fucking female. Quit talking shit about other men. Quit drinking haterade. If you think all those tats make him look stupid, keep it to yourself. If you think he's a douchebag, keep it to yourself. And if you're a man with game, you're probably not going to be having these thoughts anyway. But we all have a few beta traits about us. The point is, don't hate on other men who you see are dominating life and kicking life's ass. That screams insecurity. You're projecting. Again, these are all feminine traits. Stop. If you do this on a regular in front of your woman is definitely going to drop you. Women hate when men talk shit about other men because women talk shit about other men. Women talk shit about other women all the time. It is a feminine trait and it needs to stop. Number 10, you never tell her no. Let me make this clear, guys. Your woman has every right to cheat on you with 20 guys if you're not man enough to put your foot down and tell her you're not taking her shit. All right. If she wants to go see the latest rom-com and you don't feel like it, tell her no. All right. Or if she wants to go if she wants you to sort of tag along and hang out with her friends, if you don't feel like doing that, tell her no. All right. No, listen, no man wants to hang out with his girl's girlfriends who sit around and squawk about a bunch of bullshit and drink fucking overpriced Cosmos all night. And don't act like you want to in her presence because again, that is sort of a de facto shit test. Hey, me and my girlfriends are hanging out tonight at XYZ bar or club. You should come. No, fuck no. The right way to handle that is you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere, number one. And number two, I'm not coming with you. Your ass is staying at home. She may be pissed off because she's not going to get to hang out with her girlfriend on the, quote, girls' night out, which is, listen, we all know at this point that girls' night out is just a reason for them to go look for a replacement cock. But I digress. The bottom line here is that a woman wants and needs a man who keeps her in line by not catering to her every whim, all right? If your spineless ass isn't cutting it, don't be surprised when she fucks a man who puts her in her place. But at this point, she might just keep you around to satisfy all of her other non-sexual needs. So you'll be her beta bucks. The other guy will be an alpha fucks for no other reason but that he puts his foot down and he tells her ass no. You need to have the balls to tell your woman no. If you don't want to fucking do it, tell her no. Number 11. You failed too many shit tests. And I know this is sort of an umbrella to all of these others. But when you first hooked up, your red pill game was on point. You swat away shit tests like pesky little flies. But as time passes, again, you get a little comfortable and you let your guard down. Perfectly natural. As I stated before, we're all human. But little by little, she can see that you're starting to get comfortable. And what she will start doing is she will start shit testing you just to poke you a little bit to see if you're the same guy. And if you fail one shit test, she will increase the frequency. And if you fail some more, she will increase the complexity. And at some point, she's going to deploy unpassable shit tests. Make sure you keep your frame. Make sure you understand when she is shit testing you, fitness test, congruence test, whatever you call it. Girls by nature, and again, this is something they have to do. They want to know that you are still the man they want to be with. It doesn't matter how tight your game is. You could have the art of mimicking the alpha male, and I'll get to that here in a second. And girls might think, man, this guy is ironclad, he's rock solid. Let me just poke him a little bit to make sure that he really is who he says he is, or he really is who he has presented himself to be here in the last 6 months. Don't be upset about it. Handle your business, because if you don't, eventually she will cheat on you. Number 12, you're a closet beta male. Okay, you're the guy, listen, you're on the manosphere all the time, you're commenting on articles, you're on message boards, bitches ain't shit, et cetera, but you're secretly holding out on concepts like not all women are like that, or that my woman should just love me for me, or any ridiculous notion you claim to have seen the light on. No matter how well you think you hide it, guys, your girl, she's going to eventually sniff it out. Okay, like I said before, females have a supernatural ability to quickly detect incongruity, especially in this realm. And when that happens, if and when that happens, she'll step out on you if she doesn't just leave altogether. White knights, closet or publicly, they don't deserve the affections of women. I don't give a shit. If you're fool's gold, then fuck it. You deserve to get cheated on. You need to be congruent through and through, and that's the bottom line. Number 13, your value isn't high enough. This is where the concept of hypergamy rears its ugly head. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the term hypergamy is loosely defined as a woman's desire to secure the highest value male available to her. Now, a lot of men in the manosphere they talk a lot of shit about hypergamous girls. Oh, girls are hypergamous and this and that and the other. Look, this isn't a bad thing. Okay, women are supposed to want to consolidate on the highest value men available to them. You turn that around on guys. We want to fuck the hottest chicks out there. So you think of it this way. If you're with a woman, like if your girlfriend, when you guys first started dating, if she was hot and in shape and this and that and the other, then 6 months later, she's a fat slob. Guess what? You're going to go out and you're going to find another chick who is as hot as she used to be. The same thing happens on the other side of the pendulum. The pendulum swings both ways. If you are this rock solid alpha male, you keep her in line, you don't feed into her emotional shenanigans. If you turn into a sniveling beta, guess what? She's going to want to upgrade. Now, here's something else that's in that same vein in terms of your value. A lot of times your value can decrease, okay? Maybe you gain a little weight. Maybe you take a financial hit. Maybe you switch jobs. You're not making as much money. Maybe your game isn't as tight. Or her value increases. Maybe she starts to get a little bit hotter. Maybe she's starting to get the attention of more men. Or it could be a combination of both. Now, we all know that we all know that girls, they're not going to dump you if they have someone else in their sights. If they have the attention of a higher value male than you are, they will never tell you. My girl is never going to come in and tell me, Donovan, I've met a guy, and before I cheat on you, I am going to do the right thing, and I'm going to break up with you so that I don't do any. No, girls don't do it that way. Girls are branch swingers. They're raft jumpers. They don't want to be alone. So if they have someone in their sights, they will make sure they have that. They'll make sure they have guy number 2 locked down. In other words, let him fuck her. She'll make sure that he is locked down before they have that we need to have a talk conversation. And here's a pro tip. If your girl ever starts hinting or outright suggests, hey, Donovan, I think we should start seeing other people, or I think we need to take a break, or I want to break up with you. Maybe she even says that. If she tells you any of those things, there is a better than 100% chance that she has already started fucking the guy she's going to leave you for. It is guaranteed. If a girl comes to you and tells you we need to take a break, or I want to break up, or I think we should start seeing other people, she's already fucking other dudes. That's just how it is. So if your value isn't high enough, and listen, sometimes there are things that are outside of your control. Your value is not one of them. Stay in good shape. Make sure you're in the black financially. Make sure your game is tight. Make sure you don't fail shit tests, and your value will stay as high as it needs to be to keep your girl around. Now, while it is important, gentlemen, to understand that occasional slip-ups, in your game are inevitable, it is more important to drill this one unshakable truth about today's sexual marketplace. The game never, ever ends. Ever. Okay? I don't care if you've been married to your girl for 10 years. I don't care if you've been fucking her for I don't care how long you've been with her. The game never ends. I understand as well as anybody here that it can be a grind to never let your guard down around your woman. Okay? Like game is tough, and keeping that alpha, keeping that unbreakable frame, that keeping staying not becoming vulnerable. It's tough, man. It really is. But it's important to understand that as soon as she sees a chink in the armor, it's game over. Now, of course, I'm not saying that you can never fail a shit test. If you have enough alpha equity, I guess I should call it, if you have enough alpha equity, with your woman, yeah, you can fail a shit test or two, and it's probably not going to cost you anything. But trust and believe, if you do fail a shit test, it's going to be far from over, but she's going to try you again at some point down the line to see, because she wants to know if your failure of that said shit test was just an aberration, or if this is who you're starting to become. So you fail that one shit test. Okay, all right. Listen, maybe he had a bad day. Whatever. She'll hamster whatever excuse. You fail shit test number 2. Once is a coincidence, guys. Twice is a trend. You fail that second shit test, and again, the shit tests will increase in frequency. They're going to increase in complexity, and before you know it, she's up under some dude getting her brains pounded out. The game never ends. Point blank, guys. It is your responsibility as a man to keep your woman in check, because she is ill-equipped, nor can she handle keeping herself together. All right. It's well known in this sector of the manosphere. Anyone with red pill awareness, we all know and clearly understand that women cannot be trusted to their own devices. One girl I'm fucking right now has told me this. She said, Donovan, I can't be trusted to my own devices. I make bad decisions. I don't know what's best for, she said this to me. All right, she's probably one of the only females who's actually admitted this out loud. Most women won't do that. So it's your responsibility as a man to grab and take control of your woman. Women want to be taken. They want to be led. They want to be owned by a man. They want to surrender to a man. You need to be that man that she wants to surrender to. So stop watching porn, guys. Stop eating junk food. Get your ass to the gym. And keep your game tight, okay? Because from here on out, when you see signs of your woman stepping out of line, remember that you are a man. Grab your fucking Y chromosome and handle it, or someone else will. That concludes this episode of The Sharpe Reality. Hit me on Twitter anytime, or you can get a hold of me through the contact tab of my website, thesharpereality.com. And of course, make sure you bookmark that Amazon link on my homepage if you want to contribute to the show. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you next time.